Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kwame Twumasi. So this is like a Q&A session in regards to visitors visa. So in this video, I'm going to answer two questions. So the first question I get asked a lot is, Kwame Twumasi, can I convert my visitors visa into a work visa once I get into Australia? And the second question is, Kwame Twumasi, I've got my visitors visa. Will I get asked any questions by immigration when I get to Australia? So before we do this deep dive, just know that I'm not a migration agent or an educational agent. So please use any advice I'm going to give in this video as general advice only. Now let's get into the second question. I'm going to answer the second question first, okay? So when you get your visitor's visa, yay, congratulations. But just know that when you get to Australia, at the airport, 95% of the time you might get asked questions, okay? So these questions are nothing serious, just simple and straightforward questions, okay? Sometimes they just want to know your intention as to you entering Australia. They just want to know if you are like a genuine visitor or you're a genuine tourist person entering Australia. So the number one question you get asked is, well, welcome to Australia. Okay, this is a nice one, nice and easy one. The second question is, so how long will you be staying in Australia for? Okay, this is the kind of trick question. You want to see if you're going to stay in Australia for maybe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or 12 months. This will be in regards to how long your visa was granted for. Okay, if you go and say, oh, you want to stay in Australia for 5 years, then that raises a red flag. You might get deported back to your country. So you need to be smart with this. The other question they might ask is also, do you have any friends and family you're visiting whilst in Australia? If you have any friends and family, you can mention it, but again, make sure this is in line with what you told immigration when you were doing your visa application. This is really, really important. The other question is, so what will you be doing in Australia? All right, you are a tourist, okay, so you need to mention 1 or 2 tourist sites. Let's say if you are just here to visit Australia, you need to tell immigration that, oh, maybe you have plans on going to the Opera House, you have plans of going to the Blue Mountains in Australia, you have plans of going to, the White Sunday in Queensland and the rest, okay? So make sure you are smart with this, and also make sure everything you tell immigration is in line with what you stated when you were doing your visa application. So they'll ask simple questions, okay? But once in a while, they'll put in a trick question. This is one of the trick questions. So do you have any plans of working in Australia? Now, this is a trick question because just know that if you're on a visitor's visa or on a tourist visa, you are not allowed to work in Australia, okay? They want to find out if you're a genuine visitor to Australia. Just say no. Make sure the answer is no. If you say yes, then that means you are entering Australia to look for other greener pastures. Your intention of coming to Australia is not really to visit, but turn your visitor's visa into a work visa and work with it. So when you say yes, you have plans on working in Australia, then that is going to raise a red flag, and trust me, they will deport you. So do not make this mistake. This is really, really important. Just be smart with this, okay? So any information you give to immigration when you are submitting your tourist visa application form, make sure everything you tell them is in line with it. Because trust me, with a click of a button, all your information is going to pop up. And when they see that, or when they find out that what you're telling them is not in line with what you provided when you were filling your visitor's visa application, if it's not in line, then they will delay you, okay? They will delay you and they will deter you. And if they find out that your intention of coming to Australia is not really to visit Australia, but you have plans on maybe turning your visitor's visa to a work visa or something, then they can deport you. This is really, really important. Now, let's move on to the first question. Can I turn my visitor's visa into a work permit? So guys, before I answer this question, just know that it's illegal, okay, to enter Australia without a genuine intention, okay? So yeah, the reason why you applied for your visa needs to be genuine, okay? So if you enter Australia in regards to you just using a visitor's visa, because it's very easy to get a visitor's visa, it's illegal. Yeah, so before I answer this question, I just want to point this out to you guys, okay? Most people compare Australia to Canada. I think Canada now, the government got some sort of law that allows visitors visa to change to a work permit. Okay, I know Canada's got that. Australia doesn't have that. Okay, so for you to be able to change your visitor's visa to a work permit, and the easiest way is for you to change it to a student visa. Because once you apply for your, your visitor's visa, it allows you to study for 3 months, okay? So it's the most easiest way to swap your visitor's visa around is to apply for a student visa. This visa is really, really easy. But you can only do this if you don't have the no further stay clause on your visa. If you have the no further stay clause on your visa, you only be able to study for maybe 3 months or 6 months. It depends on how long your visa was granted, and that's it. You will not be able to reapply for any other visa. You need to leave Australia, reapply, and come back to Australia. But in case you were on the lax side, you were not given no further stay, then yes, you'll be able to swap to a student visa. But let's say luck was on your side and your visa was granted for 6 months or 12 months, then you may have the chance to look for an employer to sponsor you under Visa Subclass 482, and this will allow you to switch your visa over from a visitor's visa to Visa Subclass 482. So your chances of actually finding an employer is going to be really, really less, okay, unless you move to a regional area. I'll highly suggest you move to maybe Perth or South Australia or the Northern Territory, okay? These regional areas will allow you to find employers easily, and these employers will help you swap your visitor's visa over to to a work visa, all right? But this is not guaranteed. Again, if you have the no further stay clause, you'll not be able to do this. You need to leave Australia and reapply. But in case you don't have the no further stay clause, then your chances is you moving to a regional area and looking for an employer to sponsor you. I hope I've made justice to this. But guys, do not enter Australia illegally, all right? So if you have the intention of you coming to work in Australia, I'll highly suggest you stay in your home country, okay, and apply for a visa that is going to allow you to work in Australia. Do not just go for a visitor's visa, because I know it's the easiest and it's also the cheapest for you to migrate to Australia and have the intention of you swapping to a work permit. So if luck is not on your side, you are going to be really, really stranded, and that's not going to be healthy for you. My name is Kwame Twumasi. If you find this useful, you know what to do. Please click on that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you do not miss out when I release another useful content. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.